Hello, I'm Kristen Carver.
And I'm Gina Berg. Welcome to the Inferno. I don't know about you, Kristen, but it sure made my Halloween seeing the 25th ranked Devils take home another win last night.
Oh, it sure made skipping out on trick-or-treating worth it. Going into last night's game, ASU was 0-2 on away games, but they sure proved the critics wrong by scorching the Cougars on their own turf, changing that to 1-2. What was going through your head as the scoreboard lit up?
Well, it was a clear domination last night for Arizona State at 55-21. Defense showed their true potential, allowing only 2 rushing yards. Washington State is now 4-5 on the season, dropping further down the rankings. However, our Devils continue to make headlines and remain at the top in the Pac-12 South at 6-2, getting their first win on the road of the season. Both teams had 2 turnovers each, but what really killed Washington State was their first downs. Having just 14, they could not come close to Arizona State's 33. Running back Marion Grice got down to business when he rushed 94 yards on 18 carries. Wide receiver DJ Foster looking hot with 77 yards on 7 catches and 2 touchdowns for Washington State quarterback Connor Holiday completed 29 on 54 attempts for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. Kristen, who would you call MVP of the game?
Honestly, those were some awesome stats, but Taylor Kelly still takes the cake.
I agree.
The Idaho native led both Washington and Arizona State in rushing yards, but that's not all. Kelly also contributed to 5 touchdowns in Cougar territory. Coach Graham spoke highly of Arizona State's quarterback. Graham said, "It's like having an offensive coordinator out there on the field. This guy has tremendous poise. He is so unselfish." Not only was Kelly's coach proud, but he also made his fans proud.
He really did. With this easy win, the Devils continue to try and hold their big 2-5 in the rankings. This whole season has been a fight to stay in the running for a number next to their name.
Fighting for a ranking, but also fighting to land a spot in this year's Rose Bowl. It's not going to be an easy route as the Devils are in the running against other great teams. Let's pass it over to reporter Angela Denogene to go into detail about these other teams.
Thanks, Gina and Kristen. This Saturday, number 12 UCLA took on number 3 Oregon. Oregon went in looking to stay undefeated. 3 minutes into the game, Brett Hundley runs it in for the first touchdown of the night. Oregon getting ready to punt, and they fake it. Rodney Hardrick keeps the ball and runs it up the field for 66 yards. Check him out. At the 1-yard line, D'Anthony Thomas scores to make it a 14-17 game. Hundley looks to answer back. Check his throw out, and it is intercepted. Look at his moves. Maldonado gets ready to punt, and the Bruins block the ball, giving them great field position. Hundley connects with Duarte to make it a 14-14 game. With 8 seconds left of the second quarter, Oregon goes for a 37-yard field goal, and it is too far to the right, leaving it tied at the half. Marshall runs it in for a touchdown, making it 21-14. Hundley looks downfield, and it is intercepted by Patterson, this time by Patterson. Mariota throws to Addison for another Ducks touchdown. The Ducks take this game 42-14. The fans are happy. The Cardinals went to Oregon this weekend to face the Beavers. First quarter, no score yet. Hogan hands off the ball, and it is fumbled. Scott Crichton recovers the ball and takes it down the field. Somebody took him down at the 42-yard line. Mannion looking to score first and is sacked. Hogan's looking to do the same. Steps back, and it's looking like he's about to be sacked again. Sacks are just coming left and right. Trevor Romaine goes for the 50-yard field goal, and it is good. Oregon up 3-0. Hogan, stepping back, he's looking for Montgomery. He throws the ball, and it is caught. What a catch. Victor Bolden receiving the kick, brings it out, and the ball is fumbled. Hogan hands the ball off to Gaffney as Gaffney punches his way into the end zone, making it a 13-3 game. First and goal, Mannion with the pass to Crooks for a touchdown. Stanford still leading 13-9. Hogan with the handoff to Gaffney again as he makes his way into the end zone. Second and third, Gaffney with the ball, and it's fumbled. No end zone for him this time. With 7 seconds left, Oregon makes an attempt to stay in the game. throws, and it is intercepted. Stanford takes this game 20-12. Now let's check out how these games affected the Pac-12 conference game standings. With Oregon's win, they still lead the Pac-12 North undefeated 5-0. Stanford, Oregon State, Washington State, and California follow. Now for the South, our very own Sun Devils still lead 4-1 with a great win last night, followed by Arizona, UCLA, USC, Utah, and Colorado. Those are your Pac-12 standings. I'm throwing it back to you, Gina and Kristen.
Thanks, Angela. Now in the studio, we toss it to Kenny and Anthony for this week's upcoming predictions. Anthony?
Thanks, Kristen, and thanks, Kennedy, for dressing for the occasion.
Well, I didn't feel like I had to overcompensate for anything, Anthony.
Well, Kennedy, you should. You look like a baby-faced Billy Mays.
Yeah, well, you look like a fatter Jonah Hill.
Mean-spirited.
Too soon.
All right, sports.
Okay, quick question. Out of UCLA and U of A, which one's a top 25 team?
UCLA.
And which one is not?
U of A.
That is right. Good job,
Nailed it.
Anthony.
Thank you.
UCLA is a top running back in Jordan James and a top quarterback in Brett Hundley. Arizona's been competitive, and they're young, and that's the reason why UCLA is picked to be a favorite to win the Pac-12 South. They've been dominant, and the Wildcats just don't have enough talent to stack up against the Bruins. UCLA has played much better competitors like Oregon and Stanford. Even though they lost against those two, the Wildcats can make it an interesting game, but they're not going to keep it interesting for much longer. I see the Bruins winning 34-10.
I've also got the Wildcats losing. I'm thinking 34-10. Are those puppets?
These are puppets. Here's our interpretation of the game.
It's all right, baby. Mosey on back with me to L.A.
Your arms are so
I'm
strong.
going to make you a star. All right. Oregon versus Stanford. This game's going to be enormous. We got two top 5 ranked teams battling for control of the Pac-12 North. And Cardinal, they've got a lot going for them. They've got a strong defense. They've got an offense that could put up 32 points per game.
Yeah.
And they've got the bye ahead of them. And the home field. Still not going to beat the Ducks.
I know.
I'm not seeing that happening. Stanford just had a huge loss in the form of defensive end Ben Gardner. He was a number 3 prospect for the NFL draft prior to a pectoral injury. Now, hopefully he rehabs, tears it up in the combine, but that's not helping with this season. I anticipate the hole he's going to leave in the defense being ripped open by Oregon's offense. Yeah, they've got Byron Marshall, who's got 12 touchdowns on the season, over 800 yards. Their quarterback, Marcus Mariota, has rushed for 500 yards, 9 touchdowns. And they got DeAnthony Thomas back. That guy's a beast. I'm seeing big Oregon victory, 43-36.
Yeah, I don't have it as high scoring as you do. I have it 17-14, but the Ducks still coming out on top.
Photosynthesis.
Quack, quack, quack. And lastly, we got Arizona State versus Utah. Arizona State will go into Utah's house and look to outscore the Utes, plain and simple. The Sun Devils' high-octane offense is the best Utah's seen all season, and Utah's ranked 59th in defense.
As they were saying, ASU real hot right now. That game passed against Washington last week. They didn't say this. -9 yards. The whole state of Washington, -9 yards against ASU.
That's
right
incredible.
Now. Terrible.
But Utah's going to look to contain Taylor Kelly and Marion Grice. Grice is one of the top scorers, actually is the top scorer in the FBS right now. Is looking to have a record-breaking season.
Yeah. Taylor Kelly's hot.
He is. Utah's coming up a loss to their hands to UCLA, who was blown out in Tempe earlier this season. Look for more of the same this matchup, as Arizona State is within striking distance to contend for the Pac-12 South title.
Yeah.
They will push up the tempo like they always do. And even at home, Utah will be out of their comfort zone. I have Arizona State winning 38-17.
Yep, I've got them coming up big, 42-14. All right, in conclusion, I said UCLA was going to win 34-14.
Yeah, I had 34-10.
I had Oregon coming up 43-36.
And you're an idiot. It's going to be 17-14. Now back to the desk.
Well, that's it for the Inferno this week. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Gina Berg.
And I'm Kristen Carver. Have a fantastic weekend.